first got married, we lived on a farm, and we lived on a farm for quite a few years. And I never made homemade bread, but my grandma made bread. Now my mother didn't, and I didn't really know much how to make homemade bread. And then I was introduced to a world of magazines about plain living. And this really opened my doors to learning how to make bread. So let me show you the different magazines, and I'm going to show you making bread here in just a minute. But here we have The King's Daughter, and this is a really neat magazine, and it was produced at home by a family with a lot of girls, and I absolutely love this. And then I lived so close to plain people, and plain people also are my relatives, and just all of the things that I wanted to do living on the farm and living a frugal life. And then here's the Plain Interest. This is a newspaper just for Amish and Mennonites. But what really inspired me was once a week I would go home and spend a couple hours there, and it was a way for me to see my mom, because I lived about an hour away from where I grew up and my home. And right beside my parents, I shouldn't say right beside, about a mile, was a little Mennonite Amish, and that was a bookstore. And then we had Family Life, and Family Life was absolutely amazing because it taught me, it showed me different ways that I could live really frugal living on the farm, because I was very lonely. So at age 17 I got married, and by the age of 17 I got married, and by the age of 19 I had 3 children, and I was home all the time. And so I loved Family Life, and Family Life had a lot about baking bread. And of course I got to spend time with my husband's grandma and my in-laws, because they were right across the field from us, and I love Family Life. And then my sister-in-law introduced me to Gentle Spirit. And if you missed the video, years ago I did a video on Gentle Spirit and how a miracle happened in my life, because I actually spoke to the woman who produced these magazines, and she had a whole box of them in her barn that she was selling, and I got them, and my husband bought them for me, and this is Gentle Spirit. And so I really like going back to all of this. And then about, I don't know, the last 10 years of my life, I was so busy, and things got really hectic and busy in my life, and I'm kind of now back to just the Gentle Spirit and homemaking and just the plainer way of living. I really enjoy that, and it brings me back to my early married years. So this is Gentle Spirit. You can't find these anywhere, and if you do find them, they're very expensive, but I don't know if you can find them anymore anywhere. And then there's another one called Crowned with Silver, and this one I just received, and this is very old as well, so I can't wait to read this. Now this somebody gave me, so I don't know if I can find them or not online, but it's all about teaching your wife or your mother and your daughters, teaching them the old ways of living, and that would be stay-at-home mom. I've always been a stay-at-home mom, so I just really like the old ways. You always go back to your roots, and I always say that, you know, you always go back to the roots. And I really want to thank a very, very, very close friend of mine, and she has been one of the first subscribers, and her name is Deborah, and she gave me a subscription to this. She is one of the first subscribers. I think I had 100 subscribers almost 8 years ago. And so she bought me this year, so I get to have a new Keepers at Home, and I will be doing some studying and reading with all of you. I know there's a lot of people that are interested in this kind of thing, and just everyday homemaking, but in more of a theme of Christian homemaking, and more of a theme of just enjoying the little things in life. And so thank you so much for listening to my story of bread, and I can't wait to share with you a lot of things that I am doing, because I found some really great recipes that have to do with homemaking, and I think you're going to like them too. The following video clips are different kinds of bread that I have made in the last 2 weeks, and the recipes will be found in the description box. Regular white sandwich bread. Cinnamon swirl bread. And Italian bread. I'm having so much fun trying different kinds of flour. This here's coconut flour. Adding a little bit of this to my bread gives it a whole different texture. Hi everybody, I'm inserting this into the video that you are watching because I want to show you a really frugal tip on how you can decorate your home, and it's using things that you can find. So I had a grapefruit that went bad, but yet I could still dehydrate it. It was not very good and it got really dried out. So we have all kinds of herbs in here. We have some lemon leaves that were on lemons, and all kinds of little seeds and flowers. And I have some eucalyptus leaves. We're gonna put all this together and I'll show you what we're making with it. So bringing nature inside your home can be so much fun. So what we're doing is we're just gonna layer all of this. And you can see I have marigold flowers in here, all kinds of beautiful flowers. Now this all came from my garden. We're going to use some eucalyptus leaves. This is going to make it smell so good. And then we add some more. Now this here, other than the eucalyptus leaves, this was all from my garden. Now I'm going to add a few other leaves from my garden. How about rose petals? Wouldn't rose petals make it so pretty? Take a look at this. Absolutely pretty way of decorating your home. You can change this out. Let's put a little bit of some lavender buds. These were from my garden as well. So we're making a salad, but not to eat. It's a salad for just an eye appeal. It looks really beautiful, And it's just finding things from your home and adding a few other touches as well.